if something is to be special, it has to be unique. It has to be unique. So if I have a rock and I told you this rock, this piece of rock, is priceless. It's worth $10 million. You're gonna ask me what makes this rock, $10 million. So I'm gonna tell you, I decide it's $10 million, and you're gonna tell me, okay, you can decide whatever you want, but that's worth nothing. But if I tell you the reason why it's $10 million is because it's a unique rock that's very rare, as far as the way it looks, as far as the way it's shaped, as far as its quantity, as far as its size, and so on and so forth. So if you want to have something that's unique, that's special, that's valuable, it cannot be something that is very easy to get, very easy to attain, and so on. Like, for example, sand is not very valuable, and that's because there's a surplus of sand. Salt water is not very valuable, and that's because there's a surplus of salt water. 72% of the world is water. But if you take specific types of metals or rocks or different precious stones and so on and so forth, the more rare they are, the more valuable they are. HaKadosh Baruch Hu had to show Am Yisrael that they are rare. Not necessarily because they're of lesser quantity, because there were generations that we were a very large quantity of Jews. At the time of the Bet HaMikdash, there was a large quantity of Jews. At the time of Egypt, there was a large, Yetziat Mitzrayim, there was a large quantity of Jews. And several times throughout history, we had a large quantity of Jews. Not in comparison to the Goyim, but still a large quantity. But Hashem says that what makes us unique, as far as the chosen, is because we are the only ones that are following the Torah itself. So Hashem had to make us different from the rest of the nations, because that simply gives us the two aspects of it. You have two aspects. You have the valuable and you have the less valuable. You have the scarce and you have the stuff that you have a surplus of, and so on and so forth. Hashem decided who is the chosen, who's not the chosen. But the beauty of Hashem is that He allows anybody that wants to be part of the chosen to join. So if someone was born not Jewish, but they wanted to become Jewish, they can be. They go through a Orthodox conversion at the Beit Din, after learning enough Torah to know how to deal with the day-to-day life of a Jew. They make certain life changes that are necessary, and they convert through Judaism, and they can become part of the chosen people, meaning that Hashem did not leave the rest of the world behind. If you want to be a Jew, you can be, but you can't undo it, meaning a Jew cannot become non-Jewish. Even if they converted to a different religion, according to Halakha, they're still considered and judged as a Jew. They're still judged as a Jew. A wicked one, nonetheless, but a Jew. So Hashem allows every single person that wants to be a Jew to become one. But if with a minor exception, of a nation that's cursed, that He says, well, they'll never be allowed to be a Jews. But even those had even the exceptions had exceptions. In general, the vast majority of the world can become Jewish if they want.